Hello and welcome to Monada Games. I'm Monique and I'm the gamer of this channel. This is going to be the very first video that I put out on the channel, and it's a speed build. The family that I had living in this build is no longer since the February 3rd Sims update. My game just decided to crash out and it doesn't work anymore. So this build is going to be on the gallery still. I did use quite a few packs on this build, and there are CC items in this build as well. But there is another version of the same build where it is pretty empty, so you can go ahead and get it unfurnished as well, and go ahead and furnish it with the items that you would like. Okay, so let's get into this build. I found an image online. The family that I was going to have live in this house actually lived in Mount Karobi, if I'm saying that correctly. They lived in that house, so I wanted to find another house that had a mountain vibe to it. So this blue house really looked like a winter house, and it seemed like it would be the perfect spot to be in the mountains. Even though I didn't place this house in Mount Karobi, it's a 20 by or 30 by 40 lot. I ended up moving this house to a different lot because the way I was building this house, it wasn't fitting this actual plot of land. So I did end up moving it to a different spot. But anyways, just to get back into this build, I wanted it to have a mountain aesthetic just because the family was from the mountains. I also really liked how the house had the columns in the front, and it also had a lot of windows. Another favorite feature of this house is the back. We haven't gotten there just yet, but the back of the house has a wraparound deck, and I haven't built one like that before, so I really wanted to challenge myself and try to build a house with a wraparound deck, and it looks pretty cool. This house was a lot of fun to create as well because I was able to test my skills of building a Sims 4 house, which I've only built 2 or 3 other houses besides this one. And I'm learning that when you place a roof a certain way, it won't show on the other side of the house, or if you angle your roof, then you will be able to blend your roof seamlessly so that it makes it seem like it's all one roof, but when in reality you use like 5 different roofs. It's just interesting to see what happens when you build a house from scratch. And here's where I am going to go ahead and start on that wraparound deck. I had to create rooms all the way around the house, and then I erased the walls that I didn't want. Once I had the walls erased, I was able to go ahead and add in railing around the deck. I put them on the top, and then I also realized that the ceiling was still on the deck, so I erased that part. And then the image actually has the deck how it is currently, but I ended up wrapping it around a little bit more because the bedroom that's on the left side of the house is actually a little bit too big, so I made it smaller by wrapping the deck a little bit further to the front of the house. I picked these windows just because I felt like they would let in a lot of sunlight into the house, and I like for my Sims to have a lot of natural light coming into the house. I don't mind adding in lighting, but usually I play with auto lights, so it can get kind of dark inside of the house if there's not enough windows. So I added quite a few windows just to make sure that I had enough sunlight in this entire house. So I don't know if you all know this, but I do play on a Steam Deck, and some people prefer to play on a console or a PC. If you don't know what a Steam Deck is, it is a handheld PC. And for some Sims 4 players, they found it difficult to play Sims 4 on the Steam Deck. I'm here to tell you that I have over 300 hours on my Steam Deck, and I absolutely love The Sims on my Steam Deck. I found a video that helped me map out my controls, and I think that's the biggest thing when it comes to playing Sims. You want to make sure that you have the right controls for your game, or else it's not going to work for you and you're going to get frustrated. So I'll leave that link down below. I can also try to create a video if you guys would like to see that. Just let me know in the comments below. Alright, so let's try to figure out what kind of siding to use. I did have a hard time figuring out what would work for the top and bottom, because once I found one that I liked for the bottom, it just didn't match on top. I am going to use this gray toned siding, and then it has brick on the bottom, and then I found a paint color that I felt matched that gray pretty closely. It doesn't have that worn texture to it, but nobody's going to be up on the house like that, so I think it's fine that it's just a regular gray paint. I'm going to add that all over the house so that it looks uniform, and then we are going to go ahead and move on to the inside of the house. So this wall right here, it's supposed to be a Jack and Jill bedroom here, but I couldn't get the center wall to be in the center, so I just scratched that idea. I moved on to the dining and kitchen area and started to remove some walls. I do have another video coming out where I decorate the entire house, so make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss out on that next video. Okay, so now that the master bedroom is lightly decorated, I'm going to move to the back of the house and add in the stairs and add in a half wall upstairs as well. I thought that this half wall would look really nice upstairs just because it is an open area, and I didn't want this area to feel closed off just because it had stairs leading up to it. Alright, so let's decorate this bathroom. I use the shower for literally every build that I do. I just like how it looks, but also you can take a bath in this shower tub combo. And for this specific build, I liked the gold and black look. And then I've seen in some homes where they have the toilet kind of blocked off a little bit from the rest of the room. So I wanted to do the same thing in this build, and I just added a little half wall there. Then I found some rounded mirrors and I changed up the color of those, especially after I found these sinks. And it worked really well because the brass or copper tone of the sink and the mirrors matched really well. And this rug, I think I use it in every build as well, so I just changed the color of it so that it matched the bathroom a little bit better. And now let's decorate the outside. This is actually the first time that I've done any type of landscaping for any of my builds. Normally I just build the house and I say I'm done, so I just leave it how it is. But I really like how I was able to find a lot of different plants and just kind of randomly place them in areas. I watched D Sims and she decorated her house with landscaping, and I just really liked how it turned out, so I thought I would do it with this build. But also the reference photo had flowers in front of the build, so I wanted to add that into this one as well. When I opened up the landscaping, I had no idea that there were this many plants inside of Sims 4, and I just I wasn't overwhelmed necessarily, but I couldn't figure out which ones worked best. So I definitely just duplicated certain plants all over the place and made sure that the empty spaces were filled so that it didn't look empty. Like here, I'm just adding in patches of grass all over to fill up that blank space so that it doesn't look so empty. I'm going to add in stone around the flowers. I just think it looks really pretty with the stone around it. And it also helps my little imperfections from how I landscaped with all of the plants. All right, and here is the final build. I really enjoy how this one turned out. I think it's almost spot on compared to the reference, but it also has my own little twist. Again, if you would like this build, make sure you look up Monada Games and have fun with it. Hope you like it. Thanks for watching. Bye.